All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're opening up a fascinating and frankly, intense set of prophecies about the Arabian Peninsula, all from a work known as the Great Jafar. We're going to explore the foretold destinies of Bahrain, Oman, and Yemen. We're talking about epic battles, ultimate allegiances, and even the specific names of the people they're said to send forth in the end times. So let's get started.
And we begin with a really stark warning. You can feel the weight of this quote, right? It immediately sets this serious, almost grim tone, forecasting a period of just immense trial for the people of Bahrain. It's a theme of suffering that's going to echo through our whole journey today, but as we'll see, it might just have a deeper purpose.
So here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off in Bahrain, a land prophesied to go through 7 great battles. After that, we'll journey to Oman, where we'll see this incredible clash between worldly princes and unwavering believers. And finally, we'll turn to Yemen, the place foretold to be the source of a powerful final call to allegiance.
Okay, our first focus is Bahrain. The prophecies for this region are, shockingly specific. They don't just talk about a period of intense fighting and cities falling to ruin. They also describe some truly mysterious and fascinating signs that are said to mark this whole era.
Now, before we go any further, we have to understand what the text means by Al-Bahrain. See, it's not just the island nation we know today. It refers to a much larger historical region, basically the whole coastal strip stretching all the way from Basra down to Oman, and that includes the major island of Awal. This is the stage where all these events are supposed to play out.
The prophecy lays out this really precise sequence of 7 different battles. And notice the incredible geographic detail. It kicks off on the island of Samahij, then it shifts to the river sector. The 3rd battle happens at Al-Karh, the 4th at Al-Budayrat. Then the 5th and 6th battles are both said to take place at a location called the 2 Hours. All of it building up to the 7th and final conflict, which is given the ominous name, the Great Calamity.
So what is it that triggers this final devastating calamity? Well, the text gives us a very specific sign. A prominent Arab leader is assassinated in his own home, right by the sea. And the order, it says, comes directly from his own ruler. This act of betrayal is supposedly the spark that ignites that final, devastating war for the whole region.
And the destruction that follows is prophesied to be just as specific as the battles. This table lays out the grim fates for 3 key cities. Hajar is to be wiped out by the elements, by winds and sand. The island of Awal is said to face destruction by violence, by the sword. And the island of Kish, its fate is to be consumed by hunger, by famine.
We're going to wrap up our look at Bahrain with this deeply mysterious prophecy. Ali ibn Abi Talib speaks as if he's seeing it happen in the moment. He sees the sacred black stone of the Kaaba itself temporarily move to Bahrain before it eventually returns to Mecca. I mean, this just elevates the whole narrative, doesn't it? It moves beyond just battles and into the realm of truly sacred cosmic signs.
Okay, let's shift gears and travel now to Oman. Here, the prophecies also talk about major conflict, but what's really fascinating is the sharp moral contrast that comes out of all that turmoil. It's this deep, unbridgeable divide between those who cling to worldly riches and those who hold on to their faith, no matter what.
Just like Bahrain, Oman is prophesied to face incredible tribulations. The text mentions 13 major battles that are going to sweep across the land. And again, it gets very specific with locations. Between the 2 castles, twice at Al-Janbiya, at Nuba, Arad and Akrad, Al-Kar Harkan, Saru between the 2 mountains, the Well of Hunain, the Right of the Dune, the Peak of the Mountain, and near the Nabg trees. It all paints a picture of a period of profound chaos and instability.
And right here we see the central conflict of Oman laid bare. On one side you have the princes of the Gulf, who are condemned for hoarding massive amounts of wealth. Their punishment is described so vividly. On the day of judgment, that same gold and silver will be heated and used to brand them. But then, on the other side, you have the faithful of Oman. They couldn't care less about wealth. They are patiently waiting for the Mahdi, a redeemer figure who will appear at the end of time, and they're ready to answer his call with truth and with absolutely no hesitation.
And out of this group of faithful people, the prophecy actually names names, specific individuals who are destined to rise as supporters. They are Muhammad, Salih, Dawud, Hawashib, Yunus, and a man named Malik, who's from Al-Ara. This isn't just some vague prediction. It's presented like a literal muster roll of believers who have been forged in the fires of conflict.
And that brings us to our final destination, Yemen. In these prophecies, Yemen is really portrayed as a bastion of faith. It's the source of these powerful, incredibly loyal warriors who answer that final call to pledge their allegiance.
This quote, it just perfectly captures the spirit of the Yemeni supporters, doesn't it? They're not just passive followers. They're described as these fierce warriors, men with roars and leaps, right in the thick of battle. Their loyalty is active, it's powerful, it's unwavering, and it's even said that God himself will protect them from their enemies having power over them.
And just as we saw with Oman, the prophecy names the supporters from Yemen. But just look at the number of them. 14 men are listed by name. We have Jubair, Huwaish, Malik, Ka'b, Ahmad, Shaban, Amir, Ammar, Fad, Asim, Hagarsh, Kulsum, Jabir, and Mohammed. This long, specific roster really drives home the significant role that Yemen is prophesied to play in these final events.
But, and this is a crucial point, this fierce loyalty doesn't mean Yemen is spared from tribulation, not at all. The prophecies also speak of 3 great tremors or earthquakes. And the sequence gets progressively worse. It starts with a severe tremor in Yemen, which is followed by an even more severe one in the Levant. And it all culminates in a final cataclysmic tremor in the east, known as Al-Jahif, which literally means the destroyer.
So after walking through these prophecies of huge battles, destruction, and turmoil all across the Arabian Peninsula, we really have to ask the big question. What's the point of all this? Why is this specific region foretold to be such a crucible of both immense suffering and ultimately of dedicated service?
And that question brings us to the core message, the real takeaway from this entire prophetic narrative. The texts seem to be drawing a direct, powerful line between trial and faith. It's precisely from these lands, from Bahrain, Oman, and Yemen, the places that are said to endure the greatest hardships, that the most steadfast, named supporters of the Mahdi are said to emerge. The suffering, it seems, isn't pointless at all. It's presented as the very fire that forges the ultimate loyalty. Something to really think about.